G'day humans, Chris Stead here. There I am, sitting in a hotel room in Nintendo playing Princess Peach Showtime, the new game, just before it comes out, well 6 weeks before it comes out actually. So in this video I was given access to the first 4 levels in the bottom floor of the theatre that is your backdrop for the video game, for this video game. And that included playing through 4 transformations. I was also given an opportunity to experience a 5th transformation in the ice skating Princess Peach. So anyway, I'm going to talk you through basically what I got out of playing this game and what I thought were the pros and cons of the experience, and just give you some insights into how it's shaping up if you are looking forward or considering getting this Nintendo exclusive. So this is actually the start of the first stage that I went to. So each of the kind of like floors, it allows you to choose whichever stage that you want to do on that stage. So kind of like those overworlds where you might go and choose between the different types of levels. So you can choose from any of the levels and do them in any order that you like. However, it was hinted to me that I should start with the Swordfighter, which I did. And so I should say this is not my B-roll. I wasn't allowed to capture my own B-roll. This B-roll that's been supplied. And I'm just talking over the top with my thoughts, but I did indeed play this level and indeed the 4 levels that you'll see today. Now, one of the big positives, I guess, for this game is that it's Princess Peach. She's got her own game. It's been a long break for her. Her previous game, I think her only game, was Super Princess Peach on the DS back in 2005, so almost 20-year wait to see Peach back in the driver's seat, and I think it's pretty cool. She's become a much more deeper and more awesome character over the years, especially in a film that came out last year to great success. So yeah, it's good to have Princess Peach again starring in her own game. Now this is obviously a bit more of a tutorial level, that's why I suggested I do it first. Now it's got a very, very basic control scheme here. So what you're seeing is basically 2 buttons in operation. You've got jump and you've got action. And that little kind of thing that you just saw flying around there and kind of going into the enemies, which are the Sour Bunch. They are the minions of the Wicked Grape, who is the antagonist here, who has taken over this theatre and rendered its kind of the cast either captured or kicked them out, and Princess Peach has gone in to kind of wrestle the theatre back from Wicked Grape and her minions. And this is how she plays through these different plays, and each of these different plays she takes on a different kind of character, and that gets you the transformations, of which there's 10. And you will see all 10 in this. By the way, that little star that came up there, or a little sparkle that came up at the bottom there was 10 of them. There's 10 in each level for you to collect. In my experience, about 60 to 70% of them, or 6 to 7 of them, are quite easy to come across, but it's always hard to get them. Now, there you go, there's a little bit of a Zelda shrine-like glow. This is a transformation. So this is kind of the big feature in the game, is that with the help of Sparkle, your little helper there, you can get transformed into different outfits that give you different special abilities. In this case, Swordfighter Peach. Now, these transformations they don't change, they don't give you more buttons. So you've still just got your action button and you've got your jump button. And what really happens here is that everything in the game is contextual. So when you use your action button, defines what animation you get, what action you get. So here you're just pressing the same button, you go up to a character, and what the game thinks is the right action happens. And there's counters here, so you can counter, and if you press the action button exactly the right time, it counters. And that's it actually plays, that combat plays a lot like kind of Batman Arkham Asylum. Like you kind of like you push direction to direction and you fight. So you can see there's a counter there, just going over the top, slice to the back of the head. But you're all doing this with exactly 1 button. So this, and you'll see this through all the transformations, right? So we're going to Ninja and Cowboy and these other ones that I saw. And as you go through these, you will basically, you're just using the same action button, but you're getting a different action, and it's contextual to what's going on in the environment at the time. Now this is a pro and a con for me. So the positive is it makes it really easy to play. Anyone can pick up and play this game without too many hassles. But the negative of that is I found the game really, really easy. And that's not necessarily a negative thing. I think it's great that there are games for an audience that hasn't been playing for 40 years like I have. For newcomers or for the young players, it needs to be experiences for them, and this is a game that's very much made for them. And therefore, this kind of easy button layout, and also, you know, as you can see there, she's just carving through the baddies without too many hassles. You know, like I think I might have died once or twice in some of the running sequences where I just mistimed it incorrectly. But yeah, you can see that it's the lobby, it's the 4 different levels, and now she's got into this one, which is the patisserie one, or the pastry one, which you'll see a bit more in a moment. But yeah, so I just don't think it needed to be that easy. I think you could have had this easy mode. I don't understand why there isn't a more challenging mode where instead of it being contextual, you actually have to activate the moves that you're doing through combos with the buttons, which would have just literally just made it a deeper game for an older, more experienced gamer. So maybe that's something that they're going to surprise us with last minute. Like I said, it's 6 weeks before release at the moment. But at the moment, yeah, it's. I think most mature gamers who have spent a lot of time in Nintendo games are going to find it way too easy as it currently stands. Anyway, so here's another transformation. So the last stage we saw was kind of combat focused, bit of, you know, exploration. There's not really much in the way of puzzle solving, it's just classic platforming exploration. You look around, you get some collectibles, you can strike poses in certain spots to unleash bonuses. There's a ribbon to find, there's the 10 sparkles to find. And then you take along the minions, you beat the bosses, you get through the level. Okay, that's the combat stages, and most of them are kind of combat focused, but this one is not, as you can probably tell. This one is more of a cooking mix, like an overcooked style thing, mini games here, where you've got to kind of complete these challenges. So the level is less like your traditional start at one end, get to the other end style thing, and it's more about kind of a bit more about these little bit of exploration and mini games. So one of the things one of the pros for this game is absolutely the variety. You would have seen in the last sword fighting one, there's a bit where you kind of like just ninja, like, I shouldn't use the word ninja since it's a ninja princess, but kind of doing that Arkham Asylum bashing combo thing between each of the people around you. And now we're going into this one where you're actually kind of doing more cooking mini games to get through. So they've found the 5. I didn't find all 10, by the way. I didn't find all 10 sparkles in any of the 4 levels. In fact, I don't think I got more than 7. So there is a bit of challenge there in trying to find collectibles. So there's as I go through and show you some of the other transformations, you'll see there's a detective version of Peach that, again, it's kind of like, it's more dialogue and clue based and mystery. And then there's levels that are kind of more stealthy based. Some of them are more still stealth kind of in the ninja, which I'll show you in a sec. So these are kind of like how the boss battles work in this particular level. So I don't want to go too much into how you complete these challenges and so forth, other than to say that, like I said, I didn't find them massively challenging, but then again, I also don't think I'm on point for who this game's aimed at. So absolutely, one of the big positives for Princess Peach Showtime is that this theatre concept that they've gone for Nintendo has been carried across really, really well. And that probably shouldn't be surprised. We're used to Nintendo really doing a great job, not only with the music and the soundtracks, but also in particular with the attention to detail in the animations and the world building. And this kind of theme of you kind of going through the sets in this kind of massively, mythical, massive theatre and going through all these challenges with this kind of look of a set is carried across really, really well. And just attention to detail and little animations that you'll see constantly delights and surprises. So you can see kind of like, for example, there, the backdrops. It all looks like it's been designed like a set. I mean, a lot of this remind me of Paper Mario back in the day, Thousand Year Old Door, that was it. So that's all the action button, right? So action button can be combat, action button can be make the trees all nice, action button can be giving you those little dudes with the glowing noses, confidence and powers and so forth. And this is this one kind of introduces a bit of stealth gameplay. It's not overly deep stealth gameplay, but again, it's a different type of experience. And you'll see it in action here. Oh, actually, no, you got to do the transformation first. So you see all the coins, by the way. So the way that the coins work is that you're collecting these coins. That's another part of kind of like the challenge to kind of go back and replay a level is to kind of, get maximum coins and find all these collectibles. But the coins also play a role in your lives. So when you run out of, when you die in this game, in inverted commas, you don't go back very, very far. You only go back, sometimes you don't even go back out of the screen. But if you do kind of lose your lives, you basically can buy another life with 10 coins. So that's how that kind of plays in. And I suspect that there's going to be some way to use those coins as well for other things. Once the game is finalised, I got that impression. Now, here we go. This is in the ninja suit now. So all of a sudden, the ninja suit's introduced wall running, wall jumping, and you can see that she's moving quicker. So it's the faster speed. You've got this dash move where you can dash through enemies like that. Got the poses going. You'll see as she goes through the grass, she sneaks, holds up a little bit of grass. It's the kind of little details I'm talking about. And these are all kind of like truncated versions of the levels that they're showing. It's not like the whole entire level each time. But this is as I played it. You can see how they're holding a little card up there, so she can kind of sneak past the light. So lots of little fun little details like that. I think my daughter, she's 10. I think she's going to love this game. I think my younger son, who's 7, he's going to love it too. I love this with a little snorkel, little bamboo snorkel. It's breathe while underwater. There is a mermaid transformation, so I'm suspecting, I haven't seen a level based on that yet, but I'm suspecting there'll be some underwater play. Look, you can see there's quite a few sparkles there. And honestly, when I got to the end of these levels, and I was like, where the hell did I miss that sparkle? Like, where was it? Because I was searching everywhere. And if that was kind of one of my cons for the game so far, and my experience so far anyway, and I've only played 4 levels, let's just point that out, is that, being an old school gamer, I was just searching every nook and cranny for some sort of secret, some sort of door, some sort of hidden passage, invisible area, whatever. Here's a little wall run. And I just there was just nothing there. So even though I was missing a couple of those sparkles somewhere, I mean, maybe I just wasn't looking hard enough, but that kind of a constant reward you used to get in the old school Nintendo games where you just like, you'd start the level and you'd go backwards instead of forwards and you'd find a secret area, or, you'd throw something into a wall and it open, like all those kind of Donkey Kong Country and everything like that. But you can see, look, it's all themed really well to the ninja here, swinging around, dashing through the enemies. There's some parts of these games which are kind of auto-run, where some of them you're chasing and things like that. So definitely a lot of variety, as you would expect from a Nintendo platformer, but just kind of those secret areas and that's just really like, I don't know, I guess I live for it in Nintendo games, it just hasn't been there. So here we go, again, something a bit different you can see here. So yeah, definitely, there you go, it's just ended level. So here we are, we're trying now, I believe this is the last of the stages on the bottom floor. I wasn't allowed to go up or down. It looks like they could go down. I don't know what's down, but I couldn't go up to see anything else, they wouldn't let me. And this is the Cowboy stage. Now, it's worth mentioning, I think that one of the pros is that the transformations are meaningful, like they do bring things. So each time you kind of transform, you transform into something that is useful from a gameplay perspective and ties into things. So even though it's contextual, the way that she interacts with the world, rather than you kind of using button combos and stuff like that, it opens up the game in interesting ways. What I don't like is that Princess Peach herself in this form that you're seeing right now is nerfed. So like her floating jump, which is just, becomes stock standard for Peach, is just not there. And you can kind of see she got this weird kind of leg movement. Like she didn't really move that well. And she's a bit slow. And I'm guessing it's just to accentuate the transformations, right, and make them more meaningful. But it actually kind of sucked because in a lot of the levels you play as Peach, and she doesn't really have anything going for her other than what Sparkle delivers, your little companion. So I kind of wish that, just her base moves were still in play. And as far as I can tell, and again, this might be a last minute surprise, but as far as I can tell, you cannot choose what outfit you wear in a level, which I absolutely thought you would be able to when I first heard about this game. I thought, yes, you know what, I'm going to do the Cowboy level as a cowboy, then I'm going to go in and try as a ninja. But you don't get that choice. So unless there's something that has yet to be revealed there, but that seems like a no-brainer. Like, I understand it's going to probably break the level design in places, but why not sandbox it up a little bit? Let people have a experiment after they finish the game. So hopefully they do introduce that. I really hope that they do. All right, Cowgirl Peach, sorry. Very cool character, this one. The lasso is actually one of my favorite gameplay mechanics. And again, I'm not going to go in and spoil how these things work. You can see what you can see, and you can probably make a pretty good guess, but I don't want to spoil it if I don't have to. So I was kind of speaking about replayability there, and that wanting to go back and kind of test out, some of these levels, there's some of the different characters. Like I said, there's no mention or hint of that as yet. I hope that that's something that they introduce, and I hope they introduce it at launch and not as some, DLC thing down the track. But there's also no multiplayer, as far as I'm aware. And I did speak to Nintendo, asked that question, and they were like, look, if there's multiplayer, basically we haven't been told about it. So there's a chance that it could come, but there is no multiplayer. So that's kind of like that side of the replayability going. You got the ability to collect things, the ability to get coins, and potentially use those coins to whatever you can spend them on. That wasn't shown to me. But yeah, beyond that, there doesn't seem to be a lot, and I'm a bit worried about the game size, because the bottom floor of the theater only got the 4 levels. So if you think back to kind of your Donkey Kong Countries, your Super Mario's, or whatever, it's like usually each world has quite a few different levels to choose from. I know this original Mario Brothers back in the day, I think only had 4 per world, but I got through those 4 pretty quickly, like less than half an hour, and I don't know how many floors there are, but if there's the standard Mario, Nintendo 8, I'm worried it might not be that long or big a game, especially considering it's not that challenging. So again, for younger gamers, maybe not a big issue, but for those of you who are been around the block a few times, that could be a concern. So here's mixing up the gameplay a little bit. I don't know if you can see on this, there's like strings coming down that hold onto the horse, like kind of creating that idea that this is a theatre and it's a set and they're moving along. So you can see them there, see the strings high down. So that's just part of that kind of thing I was talking about, where they've really carried the theme across really well. And that just mixes up the gameplay again, and gives gamers something else to get out of this title. You also would have seen the kind of like spotlight that comes down and shines at certain times. See there, the spotlights on the characters. So this is actually showing, I didn't actually get to play this particular stage. I don't know what floor it's on. This is where it introduces the ice skating. And like I said before about the replayability, the other thing is there's only 10 transformations. And in the first 4 levels, they give you 4 transformations. So I'm assuming there'll be more levels for those transformations in the future, because surely there's more than 10 levels, right? Maybe 40, maybe there's 4 levels, I don't know. But that's not that many transformations if they're going to start handing them out every single level. So anyway, you can see the ice, you can see the snow. So in the transformation we're going to see is our princess becoming a Olympic quality ice skater. I want you to have a look at the animations here because they've done a really, really nice job with the animations. I like how she kind of loses her balance when she's taking hard turns. You can see her kind of moving her hands about to try and get her balance back. And I'm pretty sure I hope they show some ice skating in this B-roll. But see how they're doing a circle around, leaving the skate marks on the ice? That becomes one of your moves, I guess, is to kind of like draw these circles around some of your opponents. So basically out ice skate them. Yeah, here she goes, transforming. There's your shrine glow. And then you can see her leaving the mark. So that's kind of like the move, but you can also do these jumps and everything. There's kind of like mini games that involve that, where you kind of like prompted to jump and kind of pull off routines as part of a mini game. But it's involved kind of in the combat, and it's really cool how she moves across the ground as well. The extra speed that you get and that. So I really like this transformation, but I didn't get to play it, unfortunately. It's interesting as well because the main antagonist is I don't know, maybe they were holding back on showing me some story elements, but I didn't actually see, other than the intro video, which kind of the intro to the game, which they didn't show you in this B-roll, and you get introduced to kind of Wicked Grape. She didn't appear again any of the time that I was playing the game. So maybe there's something they weren't showing me there, but that's kind of a bit strange because, you know, there's no shortage of characters in the world, in the Nintendo Mushroom Kingdom. I'm used to the cameos left, right and center. I mean, this is Princess Peach's, Nintendo was saying to me at the time that she's been in over 100 games, even though this is the second one, you know, under her moniker, but they've gone for this kind of Wicked Grape, but then where is she? So yeah, so that's kind of an overview of my time playing the game. Look, I enjoyed playing it. It's just because I really love playing Nintendo games. I find them really inventive and interesting. It's always something fresh and new, and they're really well made games. And I love the attention to detail. I love the sound, and I love the way it just plugs into the nostalgia of when I was a kid and all the cool games that I played. And I love the fact that my kids get to experience these types of things now. Do I think someone like me and who's been playing Nintendo games for this long is going to dive into this title and go, yeah, what a thrilling, great time? Not. I don't think so. Not like, a challenging time. Not like I would say Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, which is like just as well made. But I'll just throw in the extra transformations here at the end. So this is Detective Peach, so as you can see, it looks like another different type of gameplay altogether. And see how she moves? Just a little bit funny when she's legs go, a little bit funny. This is Kung Fu Peach. Now I'm not sure too much of the difference is here between Ninja and Kung Fu, other than the fact that this seems to be a lot more like aerobic based. And we've also got Mermaid Peach. So there's a little hint of underwater there, but that's about as much as I've seen of it. Oh geez, my daughter's going to love this. This is Mighty Peach, I believe. Yep, Mighty Peach. And got a little bit of Mega Man influence going on there or something. And he's got these flying levels. These look a bit sus, but we'll wait and see. And so there's all your transformations there. So those are my thoughts on Princess Peach Showtime. Obviously, this is preview hands-on experience, but not a final build experience. So take that into consideration. And otherwise, look forward to March 22 when you can get your hands on it yourself. I'm Chris Stead. Thank you very much for watching. Check you later.